When you look at the menorah, see the light. Welcome to the Chanukah and Parshas Miketz Perspective. The Chanukah Perspective is in honor of the Refuah Shlema, the complete and speedy recovery of HaRav Amitai ben Shoshanna, Shaul ben Berta, and Lior Gabay ben Michal. The Chanukah Perspective is in loving memory of Leah Mintche Yosef, Edward Ben Efraim, Shlomo Ben Edward, and Yirachmiel Daniel Ben Gedalia. May their souls be uplifted and may the memories be a blessing. The fascinating story of Yosef and his brothers is always read during the holiday of Chanukah, and there's an important reason why. Our Parsha begins with Pharaoh having two bizarre dreams that nobody but Yosef could explain. He first dreamt of 7 fat cows being swallowed up by 7 skinny cows. And then he dreamt of 7 big bundles of grain being swallowed up by 7 skinny bundles of grain. And in both these dreams, neither the cows nor the bundles of grain due to devouring the others. When Pharaoh heard that Yosef could explain dreams, he commanded that he be taken out of prison and brought before him. Pharaoh then tells Yosef about his 2 vivid dreams and asks for his interpretation. Yosef explains the dreams, and he says they mean that there will be 7 years of plenty followed by 7 years of hunger and starvation. Each dream, Yosef tells Pharaoh, hints at the magnitude of the plenty but also of the famine. He advises Pharaoh to store food and grain during the years of plenty and abundance to sustain them and to sustain the world actually during the years of famine. Pharaoh obviously agrees with Yosef, and Pharaoh realizes that he is a man of God, and he will be the only person to implement his plan of action successfully. And so therefore he appoints Yosef as the viceroy of Egypt, second in command to only Pharaoh himself. And he gave him the responsibility of storing the food and the grain during the years of plenty and abundance and distributing it when the years of famine come along. However, a question comes to mind. At that time, Egypt was known to have the greatest sorcerers, the greatest magicians that can interpret dreams and tell the future. Yet they all failed to decipher and explain to Pharaoh what his dream meant successfully. What was so tricky and complicated about the dreams that confused some of the greatest magicians and sorcerers? Rashi, Rav Shlomo Yitzchaki, the leading Torah commentary, gives a simple answer. He writes that Pharaoh saw both the dreams along with their explanations, the dreams along with their interpretations. And hence, when the sorcerers came with their interpretations and explanations, Pharaoh knew they weren't correct as he had just seen them the night before, but he just forgot it. So when the magicians saw that Pharaoh was rejecting every explanation, they began to worry about Pharaoh's reaction to their ignorance, and as a result, they stopped evaluating the dreams. They stopped exploring many different interpretations and therefore failed to explain to Pharaoh what his dream meant. However, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rav Menachem Mendel gives a deeper and more profound explanation. He writes that the confusion, the perplexity of the dreams was one specific detail. At one point during Pharaoh's dreams, the abundance and the famine were present at the same time, which is an inherent contradiction. During the first dream, the fat cows and the skinny cows were together right before the fat cows were swallowed. In the second dream, the large bundles of grain and the lean bundles of grain were together right before the lean bundles devoured the big bundles. The magicians couldn't comprehend how is it possible to have simultaneously an abundance of food with a famine. Either there's a plenty of food or a lack thereof. It is impossible to have them together. And this detail, the Lubavitcher Rebbe points out, was the perplexing point that the magicians couldn't get past. The Lubavitcher Rebbe explains that the magicians couldn't comprehend this point because they came from from a fundamentally physical position, meaning that physically it is impossible for both of these contrasting elements to be present together. But Yosef did not stem and come from that viewpoint. His position came from a spiritual realm, a sphere that allows for differences, contradictions, and opposing ideas to be correct simultaneously. The most obvious and simple example of this is our existence. For the entirety of our history, rulers and kings attempted and sought out our extermination. Whether through physical annihilation or religious abandonment, There's always been someone seeking our termination. But as our existence demonstrates, they have yet to be successful or effective. Yes, our history is filled with tragedy and pain, yet we still walk with our heads held up high. Yes, we are less than 1 percentage point of the entire population of the world, yet we are the leaders of each industry we enter. Yes, the darkness of this world is powerful, but it is no match for our soul's light and the capacity of ourselves to illuminate its surroundings. The flickering flames of the menorah are telling us a story, a tale as old as time itself. There is an opportunity for light, contentment, and joy whenever there is hardship, pain, or darkness. Yosef understood this idea in prison, and when the moment appeared, he took the godly position and saw the light. As we light the menorah and celebrate Chanukah with family and friends, take advantage of the holiness the candles are sharing. Yes, the darkness of our exile is significant and strong, but your ability to illuminate and transform our world is far, far greater. There's a powerful quote about light. There is always light. And if only we were brave enough to see it. If only we were brave enough to be it. Have a joyous, meaningful Chanukah and a great Shabbos. Thank you for tuning in to the Parsha Perspective. Check out our website, theparshaperspective.com. Send thoughts and comments to theparshaperspective@gmail.com. Till next time, thanks for listening.